Hi everyone, Sarah from Mimi Designs here. This is a tutorial video for the interchangeable gnome, the seasonal ones, the one with the interchangeable hats. So before we do the gnome, we're gonna do the stencil first. So your board will already be pre-painted, so it's ready to go. You'll either have a gray or a brown frame. So you're gonna start by peeling the white away from the blue. And you want all those little blue pieces to stay down as you peel. You don't want any blue to be on this paper. And then you're gonna flip it over and place it inside the frame. If you want, the Gnome Sweet Home could be on the left or the right. It's totally up to you. I have it designed on the right, but if you want, you can always move it. So you're gonna place it inside. There we go. Perfect. Rub it down. Then peel off that clear tape. And then that's going to expose the stencil. And then we are ready to go. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Next, you'll see these two. One says MP, one says WG. MP is Mod Podge, WG is wood glue. So the Mod Podge is your next step. You're gonna dip in, but you really just want one light coat on that. If you see white, it means it's too thick. So one coat is all you need on this. Once your Mod Podge is all dry, then you can do the painting part. I'm gonna do black, but you can do any color you want. You could do the gnome and gnome one color and sweet another color. So you're gonna dip in, but you really wanna make sure it's super light. So you're gonna do 2 coats on this, maybe even 3. See how light my first coat is gonna be? You always wanna dab off so it's not so heavy. You don't want any extra paint on that stencil. Actually, you want it to be, I call them dry coats, because they're super, super light. So do just 1 coat of this super light sponging. You can dab pretty hard. You just don't want a lot of paint on that sponge. That's why I always dab off. So this is just 1 coat, and then when you get to the bottom, you can go right back up and do 1 more coat. After your second coat is done, you may see some spots that you might need to go over. You want to make sure it's all completely covered. And then when you are happy with the way it looks, you are ready to peel. You don't need to wait for it to dry. It's actually going to be easier. So here's the safety pin. I open it up, and it's just going to help you lift up any little areas you'll see. So just take the blue off. You don't need that anymore. And so this little pin is gonna help you go in and take out all the little insides. If you want, you can wait for it to dry, this part, before you lift. But that's what this is for. Once this is done, you're all set with this for now, so you can move this away and we can start doing the gnome pieces. We'll start, I mean, you can go in any order you want, but we'll start with this guy since we already have our black out. I did black shoes. You can do whatever colors you want. So I'm just going to start doing his shoes. You really just want to cover the shoe and around because we're going to be stenciling on top of it, so it doesn't need to look super neat or super perfect right now. And of course, you just need to do the top because the back isn't going to show. And then you can let this one dry. Some of them have those little, it's hard to get in those little corners. You can use the pin to get into those. And then wipe it. So we'll let that dry. While that's drying, you can move on and you can paint the hats or the other two, all the other ones too. Okay, be right back. I did 2 coats on the boots. After those are dry, you want to make sure they're dry, then you can get this stencil. And this is going to help us, let's see if I can peel this. This is going to help us make a line for the pants. So you're going to line, I'm going to turn it for a minute because you're going to line up right. You want the sides to line up just like that. And then you can take that clear off the top, if I can find it. You will want to Mod Podge just that little area. Where's my Mod Podge? Right here. And let that dry. After the Mod Podge is dry, so just the bottom, that's all we care about, and you'll see why in just a minute. Once the Mod Podge is dry, you're going to get your darker gray and then just do that little section. You're going to want to peel the back away from the beard. Make sure everything stays down. Then you are going to fit it right on. It doesn't have to be perfect. You'll see why. We just really care about the bottom. So rub it down, peel it off. Then you're going to want to do a light coat of Mod Podge just around the bottom like we did before. And then, oh, that's stuck down there, so that's staying. And then you're going to take the lighter gray and then do the whole beard in the lighter gray. Okay, once that's all painted gray, take the stencil off. Mine was stuck to my paper. Then you'll want to go over and do your edges. Oops, that's not the color. This is the color. If you want, you can use a paintbrush for this. It might be easier to get into those little corners. Okay, so once that is done, then you can go paint all your hats. You really can do anything you want color-wise. You can use paints you have if you have a color you want to use. Just make sure that they are going to be a satin or a matte paint, no gloss or semi-gloss, because if you do stencil over them, the semi-gloss or gloss will peel up. So you really want to make sure they are satin or matte, even those little craft paints. Then you'll see the stencils, so your little snowflake can go there. If you want, you can make your winter hat any color, but I wanted a red hat. It's more like traditional, so that stencil's for that. Then let's see, for spring I had the flower, so you'll do the flower, peel it, and then do the little, that inside. And then let's see, last one I have the stripe. So you can use a stripe on any one. I'm gonna use it on my ball. So yeah, go ahead and do all of your hats. And then on the little interchangeable seasons, just do the middle. Like I left this wood because of the wooden popsicle stick. Just do the middle. Don't worry about the gloves for now because we'll just, I'm missing one. Oh, here it is, my flower. Because the last step is going to be doing those mittens in black. Okay, my hats are done. I left that one blank. You'll see why. We are almost done. Okay, so last step is going to be the mittens for each of the interchangeable season. So this is probably going to be the most time consuming. You will fit it right where it goes. Each one, peel the clear. You will want to do a tiny bit of Mod Podge. So on each one, still just around there is all you need. Then you'll do the top black after that dries. You'll do that whole thing black, peel it, and then do the edges just like we did on the beard. Okay, once your pieces are all done, we're going to be able to put them on the board. But couple things. I did do a little green stem, but that's not included in the kit because you only need such a small amount. So any kind of green paint will work for that, or nail polish or marker or whatever you want, just to make a little green stem. You can also Mod Podge here and sprinkle some glitter, some white glitter here, and I'm gonna put some white glitter there too. But first I'm a sand mine. I usually sand everything. So this is actually going to be totally up to you if this is your style, but I like to just give it a light sand and do the edges just a little bit. It just softens everything and gives it a little bit of a worn look. I don't know if you can see that in there, but so that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll be back so we can put it on the board. The only thing that's actually going to be glued down is going to be the base, the body of them, and the nose. Everything else is going to be Velcroed. So you want to make sure you like the space where it is. Then you can take your wood glue. You can use anything to glue this. I'm just going to use this foam brush, but a Q-tip, or if you have a paintbrush or anything will work. You don't want it too much because then when you push it down it might squeeze out the sides. So go ahead and glue that down. You'll have time to position it exactly where you want it. Perfect. And then the nose is already going to come pre-painted. Again, you don't want a ton on there because when you push it down, you don't want it to squeeze out. So then you can put the little nose on. All right, so those are going to be the two things that are going to be glued. They take about 10 minutes to really set. Let me make sure my nose isn't crooked. I can't tell. Okay, perfect. Next, you're gonna have the Velcro. So you probably want to wait for that to dry, but you don't have to. You are going to stick the Velcro anywhere. You won't see it. I'm just going to show you the best way to line these up is to lay that on top of it. Line it up and push, and you'll hear it click. Oh, that one didn't come off good. Try it again. Oh, I just moved him a little. So that's where that one is. Then you're going to go through them all. That's so the Velcro will match up. And that one's done. For the interchangeable hands, you're going to do it on the glove part only because the snowflake is so thin that you'll see the Velcro through it. So we'll just do it on the glove for all of them. Does that stick? No. That way you can hide it. So there you go. They are all done. I did leave this one because you can kind of play almost like paper dolls with them. Like you could do that for winter with that combination, or you could do, you know, this is a little more Christmassy, so you could do that combination. You could do this combination or this combination. So it's really fun. You can play around with it. So I hope you have fun making this. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Thank you guys. Bye.